I'll talk about our open source initiative, following actually this agent research and our actual implementation of our system in a industry where we have the technology helping over 1 billion users. So it's a pleasure to have you all here, and my name is Zhang from Ant Group, and welcome to my presentation on open finance and insurance technologies. And I will give a talk from a perspective of how large language model and agent technologies are actually applied in real-world business operations. It's not research, it's actual usage. And I will also talk about how we created open services to help with our clients' business as well as our open source effort. I'll first go through how large AI models help with Ant's internal business and our end users using our Ant FINOS 1+2+X infrastructure, and then I'll go through our open services for our financial and insurance technologies, followed by the introduction to our open source framework, where we have open sourced our industrial practices to lower the bar for developing such systems. Ant FINOS is Ant's foundation LLM, and I'll talk about what is 1+2+X in the following slides. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the AI industry, since it's nowadays common knowledge where the scaling law drives the explosion of large AI models. Ant Group, I would just talk about what is Ant Group and what we do. Ant Group is a payment platform serving over 1 billion users worldwide, and our most famous app is called Alipay, as one of the world's largest digital payment platform, and has transformed the way individuals and businesses handle financial transactions. In addition to digital payments, we offer a wide range of financial services, including wealth management, lending, credit scoring, and insurance. The value of large financial models is enormous, where our explorations mainly lie within the two categories you see in the bottom. The first one is 2C application, which digitalize from the low threshold products to high-end complex services, leading advancements of inclusive finance. And 2P application empowers the financial business workflow, such as marketing, sales, risk control, investment research, etc., to further advance in industrial digitalization. Our LLM for finance, called Ant FINOS, started in 2023 and has been gradually adapted to various business purposes in the past 1 year or so. And we're prepared for the financial AI in this new era. And I will talk about the details of the technologies in my slides later. Ant FINOS, our primary financial LLM, empowers our internal business flow, generating tangible values in real-world business operations. We have the luxury of being able to reach over 1 billion users with a wide range of complicated financial and insurance services. It is why we have many complicated business scenarios that we can apply LLM and agent technologies on. And we believe that open sourcing some of our real-world industry-proof technologies, other firms will be able to leverage our knowledge and engineering capabilities to help with their own business. The financial QA of our intelligent financial assistants available to everyone, namely Zhixiaobao, has the winning and tie rate of 80% comparing to ChatGPT-4. This is just for our financial QA, and this data is from 5 months ago, and everyone in the industry has drastically improved since then. Our financial business assistant with AI plus human, called Zhixiaozhu, improved insurance planners' yield by X%. That was not allowed to disclose. Our end goal is the scalable service with 10 times of human labor efficiency. And our financial AI is also embedded in the full workflow integration with the transaction efficiency improvement in the various areas, and it significantly improved our online transaction success rate. We're trying to establish the application paradigm of LLM plus knowledge plus tool just like the previous slides, they're doing the research, and we actually have applied this in our daily business workflow around and FINOS. This is to enhance our performances in search, knowledge engineering, and service and security. And at the same time, trying to enhance our technological impact in the financial AI domain. So our infrastructure is built around our financial LLM and FINOS, pivoted by Zhi Xiaobao and Zhi Xiaozhu. Zhi Xiaobao is our consumer service, and Zhi Xiaozhu, which is our professional-oriented service, like this is a +2. And then we have an array of open technology services where we provide various open services on top of our open-sourced multi-agent infrastructure and evaluation set. So this is how it reached the this graph is very interesting. Our intelligent financial assistant available to everyone at Zhi Xiaobao, which is our left arm of our AI capabilities, has an online accuracy of 95%, which is evidence that not so large model. It's actually, when we got this data, it's only it's 10B model, fine-tuned to our knowledge base. So not so large models with very heavy fine-tuning can actually do fairly good job in real-world applications. In order to reach our end goal, we have built solid technical foundations for AI models. To evaluate the proficiency of our AI assistants, they need to undergo the equivalent of security and insurance practitioner qualification examinations. So whether they're good or not, or bad, you have to go through the same exam. And in actual service, their performance is also evaluated under like this humanly annotated data set. We have also constructed and maintained a very large financial knowledge base covering 5.45 billion entities and an insurance knowledge base of 500,000 entities. We have surmounted numerous technical challenges in order to bridge the gap between technology and our end users or business workflows to ensure that the model passes rigorous tests, being able to deal with complex dialogues and being able to easily customize to different business scenarios. We also need to address continuous planning to create a sense of companionship and security through AI planning. We can see this is evaluation, right? We can see through the evaluation on copious metrics on the end user services. Zhi Xiaobao, which is our end user service AI, has similar coverage as a human expert, but obviously needs improvement in something called mood and sales. And AI is definitely better in professionalism, reliability, and knowledge, but falls behind in this two categories that I just mentioned. Obviously, AI has done a fairly good job, but there's still quite some space for improvement. But keep in mind, this is just a 10B model, and this is 5 months ago, and things are moving by weeks, and it's not they're improving every day. So our financial business assistant tools, namely Zhi Xiaozhu, which is the right arm of our AI capability. It employs an AI plus human paradigm and aims at scalable service with 10+ of human labor efficiency. Our AI assistant covers the areas of online sales, marketing to insurance claims, and investment research, and even risk control. It continues to expand to more of enterprise businesses. AI contributed to 20% of our VIP sale, but by embedding AI in every link of our business workflow, from cues to communication enhancement to conversation narratives. In our marketing materials, AI GC generated 50% of the creative images, text, and videos. In our insurance claims, our AI review assistant processes 80% of outpatient and 50% of inpatient cases fully automatically with no human intervention. And investment in the investment research domain, we have already achieved 2 times efficiency of financial research and content edition, where AIGC generates 50% of the augmentative and financial editorial contents. I will then talk about our multi-agent infrastructure, but I realized at the last minute that there might be audience who are not familiar with the concept of agent in LLM context, so I simply make use of the most popular introduction on web in the slide to provide a very basic background summary. So, agent is, used basically for planning, and it has like memory of short-term memory and long-term memory, and also like it needs to call external APIs because, like, for example, the agent way at the training, there's no way you can know like stock prices or weather of tomorrow, today. It needs to call the proper API. It needs to understand the description of API, etc. So that's like what the agent is, and it actually breaks down the large task into smaller manageable tasks, sub goals, enabling efficient handling of complex tasks. And the memory that has like some long-term memory that remembers like infinite information over extended periods, but also it needs to remember the context, which is like short-term memory. So now I'll talk about like our technology stack and open source strategy. Through the open source combination of agent framework and we call it PER, peer infrastructure, we can lower the technical bar for financial institutions to collaboratively work on LLM applications with the help of our industrial level know-how and capabilities. And we're able to not only expand the industrial impact of Ant, but also to be able to enhance the generative AI capabilities in the AI applications to provide feedback to our platform. Our framework is agnostic of underlying LLM, which can be any publicly available model. And what do we open source and what do we not open source? This blue color here, they're open sourced. And the greenish color means under review, and the red is not open yet. The product layer is only selectively open, which means the AI capability of Zhixiaobao and 2B2C models are not open for the time being. To be a model of the general financial scenarios will be the first to open. Specifically, we will see our product layer needs a business customization, includes our financial AI, insurance AI, as well as a system customized for sales and marketing. These modules are not open for the time being. But as the first step, open sourced our general finance framework, including financial content editing, financial report generation, and ESG intelligent analysis. The solution framework is open source by collaboration with the industry and the model layer. Right now, it's still under review. So I'll talk about the open services scenario of financial and insurance technology. First one is investment research. For the development team of Ant Intelligent Investment Research, we used to conduct investment research through traditional financial engineering and quantitative analysis methods. But what can be exactly formulated or mathematically modeled is very limited. But the emergence of LLM demonstrated very strong learning, reasoning, and summarizing capabilities. We began to realize that some subjective analysis that had to be carried out by human analysts in the past can also be achieved by models, to a certain extent of professionalism. But still, it cannot directly resolve financial problems. For example, the reasoning logic might not conform to financial common sense. The latest market information cannot be obtained. The content expressed does not conform to the usual terminologies of financial industry, the common issue, of the factual illusion in using financial data and financial context, etc. So based on a solution to these problems, we proposed a PER paradigm of financial expert-like multi-agent collaborative reasoning, trying to resolve these problems through a multi-agent approach. PER stands for planning, executing, expressing, and reviewing. And eventually, we achieved very good results in the 6 categories of business lines, including financial qualitative research, targeting typical questions from analysts, financial planners, financial editing, and even some problems only for senior professional investors. So first we use we have the financial knowledge base to inject a large amount of professional knowledge from the financial domain into the model, including financial report, financial news, announcement data, etc. And we also have a big think tank. We can obtain the latest market data news through the exchange quotes, search engine, and in real time. So among these approaches, the most critical and important and effective is this is the core of our paradigm for this application. So our investment research, Zhixiaozhu, has also been used to support a variety of internal business lines of our wealth management app called Ant Fortune, and tens of millions of active users conducting active investment through this platform. And this service helped us boosting our GMV by a large margin. The 2C applications served by investment research Zhixiaozhu include professional financial news interpretation, analysis, intelligent reports, monitoring, and early warning, etc. serves like tens of millions of end users. And the 2P application, which is for the professional, include uninterrupted qualitative analysis of market information to serve analysts, financial planners, financial content editors, and experienced investors. Here I'm showing just some of our exemplary user interfaces supported by our FINOS ecosystem. Here, down. All right. Okay. So here's one example how the system conduct a report interpretation through our peer infrastructure. We classify the expert knowledge in analysis task of financial domain into 9 main levels. And level 2 is a subcategory. There's level 1, level 2. Level 2 is subcategory under each level 1 major category. For example, the first level category is called target analysis, and the following second level categories include stock analysis, short-term debt analysis, mutual fund analysis, and commodity analysis, etc. For the request, this is the exemplar request here of analyze the subsequent trend of the AI industry based on NVIDIA's Q4 financial report for fiscal year 2024. Let's see how peer, the kind of design pattern or paradigm, which stands for plan, execution, expression, and review paradigm applies in the process. The first step is plan. After receiving the task, basically the infrastructure find the relevant expert knowledge and split the original problem into a single or multiple sub-problems. And here it goes in the task of financial report task of level 2, a category under report interpretation of level 1. And the agent autonomously decides to extract the typical attention of the analyst and generates the plan to answer these questions. Then it reaches the execution step with all the sub-questions provided. The execution node will retrieve the relevant content in our financial knowledge as well as from the entire web space. And then the process reaches the expression node, where the retrieval results of the sub-questions and all the original questions will be provided as a whole, and overall generation will be conducted for the problem. And lastly, it goes into the review node, where the overall generated content is evaluated. A review node will analyze whether the answer meets the requirement and what could be improved. The improvements, or if the improvements are needed, an improvement suggestion will be given back to the plan node, and the plan node will update the plan accordingly. This process can be repeated, theoretically indefinitely, but in current settings, we allow it to repeat once in open source version. There's other exemplars of showcase of policy analysis and other things. I don't want to go to the details of this. These are the more examples showcasing how we help our end clients with our PER system. And I want to delve into the details. This is a complex financial editorial system for financial content edition and generation, where humans interact with AI systems on checking facts, answering questions, content generation and edition. This largely improved the financial editors' work efficiency. And this is the financial report generation for a listed company. Also became an independent service that has already contributed to some professionals' daily work. And for the multi-agent system is connected to financial analyst APIs with model fine-tuned on vast amount of financial knowledge data. And the context window expanded using the method of yarn, and we are able to generate long documents over 100,000 tokens. Actually, under the table, off the record, the last Alibaba's financial report was actually generated using this actual system. This is some similar service for financial research report generation. And I'll talk about the framework behind all these applications, Agent Universe, and which has been open sourced. So Agent Universe is a multi-agent framework for large language model equipped with the multi-agent collaboration orchestration component that functions as a pattern factory. This not only allows developers to customize multi-agent collaboration patterns, but also includes all key components for building a single agent. Developers can easily build multi-agent applications based on our framework and share develop practices in different fields through the community. The framework is pre-configured with several multi-agent collaborational components that have been proven effective in real-world industrial applications, including the peer pattern I just introduced, and also something called DOE pattern. This pattern uses 3 agents, which is data finding, opinion injection, and expressing to enhance the performance of data incentive, high precision, and expert opinion generation task. Typical applicable scenarios include financial report generation. This is a more graphical view of the infrastructure. The core of the agent framework contains the agent collaboration pattern factory with some industry-proven working patterns. And you can also customize your own new patterns. These modules here include agent selector, agent orchestrator, shared context, pattern processor, etc. What's below the pattern factory is the agent pool that forms the single agent functionalities, which are built using the agent builders. Agent-based components provide the very basic blocks to construct the agent. Our ecological integration layer is able to get all the standard external resources, including LLM connectors, knowledge base connector, and other API services into the standard functional APIs into the framework. On top of our agent framework core, we have our agent service mechanism called agent serve. The software infrastructure is also supported with a huge amount of data set and financial evaluation data set for evaluations and APIs connecting to various tools. So we're able to serve many industries varying from funds to insurance firms and news media companies. So now we're open sourcing this underlying multi-agent software architecture, and I hope that our experience can benefit both academia and industrial practitioners. Thank you if you're interested in developing your own applications like all the previously seen financial applications developed by us. You are welcome to try out Agent Universe and join the community. Yep, that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
Is this being used in any of the US companies here?
We just open sourced right now. If you're talking about the services, at this point, to P service, professional service, It's only limited in China and Southeast Asia. But for the to C service, to the client service, actually for some part of our international businesses, we're already like using in our what is it called? Called Antom, which is our international department of Ant Group. Yeah. See, agent builder is like for single agent. Like you have to build like your single agent, and then you have the design pattern to combine them together. Like agent builder, for example, I have an agent planner. Like I have another agent that's just like for stock interaction. So then you have to build like, for example, the planner that I have to, probably call like a quantitative model where I get, pull, this is like a linear model where I have to, send what parameters in. But in order to find the parameter in, I need another agent that's actually just calling like the price, for example, the pricing or quote API just to get those prices. And you need agent to, for example, to get the prices, you need the agent for planning, you need the agent to do the computation. So agent builder is like the agent building the agent for certain capabilities. But this design pattern, I said, what am I saying? PER, right? Basically, it's like the multi-agent structure where you have multiple agents working in a workflow. They could work together in a chain, or they could work in a circle, too. Like so, design agent pool is like the single agent that you use to design and put like the pool. Like for example, I designed a agent of fetching weather, and agent to to check the stock prices, and to filling doing interaction with the proper quantitative models, and then you have set all these agents in the pool where you have like a group of agents, and then you can design patterns to connect them together and plan them how to work together. Oh yes, this is like the pattern that we supplied in this already that we have used, and we put this two patterns already in the open source, like two examples. You can design all the patterns that suits your applications. This is just the ones that we have applied in serving our clients, and we put it in two patterns into the open source. That's a very good question. Actually, our framework, I don't think, as a general platform, open source platform or system, it has like a lot more advantages than the general multi-agent systems. I would only say that this is from like us solving the practical problems we encountered in the financial industry, so that a lot of considerations we have, for example, the stringent compliance that you face in the financial industry is normally generally not as considered as important in the tech industry. It's like all those other systems that you actually can see from the tech industries, they normally do not have that kind of requirement. So I would see this Ant universe, it's more like a practical solution that we kind of summarized out of our own practices than a general solution to the multi-agent. If you look at some of the functionalities in the other multi-agent open source projects, especially like some of the ones I saw from Microsoft, they're more general, they're more versatile, but to achieve the same thing, you probably have to throw in a lot of effort. But they also provided a lot of functionalities you probably don't have any use in financial applications. Yeah, it's really from a practical point of view. Yeah. Yes. Right. Wow, that's a bigger question. Yeah. this is beyond this agent universe. That's a bigger question. Actually, because I'm not in charge of this overall engineering infrastructure. I'm actually in charge of agent research. So in large language model research, even for smaller, the debate between smaller model like heavy fine tune, or bigger models, smaller fine tune, even internally, like among different business lines, business units, they have different perspective, or like I don't want to see who is right and who is not, because in some, for example, some businesses, like when we're serving the 2P clients, there are not too many, so you can use like a very powerful model with tiny bit of fine tune, and could be slower, but they want like a very good result. But to see apps or systems, we have a huge amount of clients. That we need speed, and the computation is like very heavy. If you're like every user takes 1 second of GPU time to compute, so that like these two business lines, they will see things very differently, and like how many things, like what things can be done by model, what things can be done by rules. Like this system that we came up with is actually, it's like we have to put like very heavy rules, or sometimes just regex on top of what's generated by large language model. What can be done by rules, and what can be done by improving the models? It's like an ongoing debate or fight between these two groups. Like the model group is trying to make this model better and better, and throwing tons of rules in the data, trying to fine-tune the model to conform better to the rules. But it's impossible to have all those the rules being followed 100% by the model. So in the follow-up module, you have tons of rules, and the rule guys, especially the rule guys, mostly work with the compliance guys, right? And these guys, they don't have any trust in model. They want to throw in all kinds of rules, regulations, and basically hard rules. Even if the model is proved to be like 98% accurate or compliant, they're not satisfied. So this debate is beyond like just pure research. It's a lot of time the perception of your legal team, your business. It's like I don't think anybody can answer this question like giving you a clear answer. It's like ongoing debate, technology, model, compliance, and rules and teams. And we have been doing this like more. It's more, to me, it's more of an art than a science at this point. And as time is evolving so fast, nobody has the time to look back and think, okay, let's do like very quantitative study on this. Before we do any study, the model has already improved the next stage to the next stage. The rules, the rule engine that has already like been modified to the next version based on the new version of model. So I don't think anybody can answer that yet. We actually, the benchmarks, like we have internal benchmarks, and also like we're trying to help the regulators in China also to build the metrics, right? They need to understand the metrics. There's no way they can understand it better than us. I believe it's the same thing in every country. It's doing the same similar practices. But as the time evolves, like especially when it comes to the GPT, 1.0, right? This 1.0, the new version. It's slow, but it's very shockingly good. If you compare with those, like sometimes like every couple months when we're doing something, I was like, oh my God, some of our work is like, it's like you see the value like goes dark like when you're pushing forward. But one good thing is just like what I said, like there are always some space. For example, the smaller model, maybe this performance of this newer GPT is way better. It's like improving so fast. But you always want like a lower computation, better result on, like for example, smaller model, better data, and better technologies for like something where you want to minimize your computation cost. You want to maximize your accuracy. There's always something going in there, but there's definitely one like dimension that's being killed by these big players, squeezing everybody out. Like yes, but in some of the general metrics, I I wouldn't even say like anybody in the financial industry is able to compete with this general technology, but we have to embrace it. Like, but also in a specific domain, application domain, there's always like a space and the metrics that we actually care more, than this general, tech big models. Yeah. Yes.
Is there a plan to participate in university into the FINOS umbrella?
It's on there. Yeah, we are. We're signing the last deal, so we are. Yeah, it will be. Yes. We actually work very closely with FINOS on various aspects in terms both open source and also the common research pools for a lot of research topics that all the financial industry would be interested in. Yeah. Yes, please.
Given all that you've done, what do you see as your biggest next challenge? Like what keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night, and even now, as the training crashed, I'm like, is this still on? Yeah. What the biggest thing is actually what I mentioned. It's like every couple weeks, it's like, oops, we're still working here, and that guy, kept coming, and the performance everybody is improving so fast, and I would say this general capabilities of the large language models is going forward by weeks, right? And but the most important thing is that as the capabilities of the models going forward, it's like some of our work becomes easier, some of our work becomes harder. Like some of the things that we thought, it's like I have to keep up with the evolution, right? Because some of work, for example, we used to do like a lot of human annotation before, right? But now not anymore. The model probably some new model is like doing better things in annotation than humans. But some of the things we get really scared because before I was like, oh my God, I have to train this, fine tune this model on the 1+1, 1+2, and to tell like 1.1 is greater than 1.01. But the model, this underlying large language model is improving in a lot of those general capabilities, and we have to remove some of the fine-tuning data every some month, not by week. Every some month we have to go. Okay, this one, no use anymore because, and some of the data we have to ship it to this our foundation model, because right now, for example, the agent calling. Some of the agent things like, hey, this parameter is not filled in correctly. It doesn't understand the day after tomorrow. It doesn't understand like, what's the next Monday of next month. What is the date? What is the day of the first Monday of next week, next month? All those calculations before was like very hard. And we had to throw in tons of, training script just to train that capability. But after 3 months, we realized, oh my God, this capability is already resolved in a foundation model. So we have to remove that part of the data. Like this is what keep me really up at night. Worrying, not worrying. It's like, what's going to happen tomorrow? One news release is going to disrupt some part of my work. Yeah, but that's also interesting. Also very exciting, right? Yeah. Like I remember, like I was in the last WWW, the World Wide Web, WWW in a workshop in Texas, Austin. I remember there's one forum that I was in. Actually, it's this financial kind of a question answering little workshop that was arranged. Probably half a year before the time. That was at the beginning of last year. That workshop was arranged half a year before the beginning of last year. So it's like in the middle of 2022 or something. And there was one PhD student supported by Chase or JP Morgan. His PhD thesis was the summary of financial documents. And he gave like the whole talk in the workshop about like his result and whatever. Nobody even asked the question of, is your research still valid? That's his whole PhD life. It's invalidated by ChatGPT. 100%, like no value at all. Like comparing to that guy, I'm, you know, I'm still lucky. But, you know, that's actually the, every single time I think about it, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I don't want to be that guy. I want to know the world. I want to be, on top of, the train instead of being killed. Yeah. Yeah. Very good question. Thanks. Reminded me of all the nightmares. Right. No more questions? Right. Oh, one more? Oh.
I understand, like, everything's moving so fast right now.
Yeah.
Like, how can we survive in such conditions? Because some project always takes some time, right?
I know.
Project, project.
I know. So it's an exciting era, but it's at the same time dangerous. We're in a wild west. You have to have first good vision and good luck. If in good luck, you're actually probably on top of the train. If you one of the projects we had before, like actually the citation is going through the roof, was like we're trying to use large language model to predict, do the time series forecasting. Now it's called like a very famous word called time LLM, which basically using large language model, trying to fine tune, we call it reprogramming to do this time series forecasting. At the beginning of the project, nobody was optimistic. I was like, this is like, project doesn't make sense. But in the end, the result was like, oh my God, how could this model predict so well? It beat all the other models. I was like sitting there, like scratching my head. This is like, we had to hit the jackpot. There's no other explanation. So sometimes you need some bit of luck. Sometimes you need to be brave. And sometimes, you have to embrace the failures. Yeah. All right. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you very much.